Alright, David, we're going to compare two lifts right here. On the top I have a clean and jerk. On the bottom I have a snatch. The reason why I chose these two is just to show you the difference in the hip brush. And I think what you're going to see on the top one here is that you are going to be missing just a little bit of hip extension comparatively to the bottom one. Naturally, because your grip's a little bit wider in the bottom one or in a snatch, you're going to get a little bit of a higher brush, meaning you're probably going to find more extension at the top. However, we'd like to see a little bit more extension out of your clean. Granted, this is a sub-maximal load, but what you'll find is by missing that little bit of extension, it kind of throws off your mechanics a little bit. So what we're going to do is play this in slow motion right here. And you're coming off the ground really well. See how your torso angle is pretty consistent between the two. I really like the position down here at the bottom a little bit better because you don't have a little bit of flexion. You might see here at the top just this little bit of flexion up here in the lower back. So what we really want to see happen here is that back remain a little bit more of a consistent angle as we come up. Now, as you pass the knees right here, looking good. The knee bend is coming forward right here in both of them, so you're getting that double knee bend. What I'd like to show you right here is your top one as you kind of come up. See how you kind of push the bar away from your body as you extend up, and that's because you're missing that full extension as you come through. So not a whole lot of extension here. Let's see what you look like in your snatch. Look at that big pull, and so you can see where that spine is just extending on back here like so, whereas we're missing that on the clean. We'd like to see a little bit more of a layback up here. It looks something like that. So just something to be cognizant of. Look how it impacts your landing position as we kind of sink on down here. So notice how you came forward a little bit in the top one. Your feet are displaced a few inches forward, and you're heavier into the knees, even though this is a front squat right here. So see how that knee's way over the toe, whereas your snatch is pretty in line right there. And that way, basically, you're avoiding the hips just a little bit, and you're going to load into your knees a little bit more, which is going to make it just a little bit weaker. As you go on throughout the day, we see that get better. Also, one last thing to point out is if I back this on up right here, be conscious of your starting position. First, we have a little bit of round in that lower back right here. A little bit here, but a lot better, obviously, as we went throughout the day. We corrected that. Also notice that neck positioning right here. So as we come on out, that head should stay on line with the rest of your spine. It's very common, and sometimes it's taught to have the head up like you're doing right here. It's not the end of the world, but just notice as you go throughout this lift right here, see how your shoulders are really kind of hanging out, so to speak. It's really pulling at those tissues, which is making your neck really crank hard up, and we'd like to see it stay more in line. But overall, really good lifts.